Align fam, we are officially less than a week away from the upcoming Align experience on June 1st. And as promised, we're going to discuss the topics that we will be talking about on that day. And what we're going to really dive into is self confidence, worth, and how that affects creating healthy relationships in your life, whether it be professional, friendship, or romantic. And why does that matter? Because the most important relationship is the one with yourself. So that sounds extremely philosophical. So, what exactly do I mean? What I mean is, how do you see yourself? How do you speak to yourself? Do you think you're lovable? Do you feel you're lovable? Do you feel you're lovable and worthy even when you're not producing, when you're not doing, when you're not achieving? Do you feel like you're worthy simply by being and by breathing, right? I ask these questions because the way you see yourself and the world that you build in the inside and here creates the reality out here. So, for example, like what is depression, right? Depression is boiled down simply someone's inner world is super dark and grim. Even if the outside world, they have all the things on paper that one would assume them to be happy and grateful for: success, health, wealth, a beautiful family, a beautiful body, like all these things that other people may strive for on paper. But because this person's inner world is so dark, it doesn't translate into the outer world. And because it's so dark on the inside, they also see a very dark external world, right? On the flip side, we see people who have like delusional confidence, right? Or what I like to call it the lucky guy or lucky girl syndrome, where the inside world, like the way they see themselves, the way they see the world, they have so much hope in the goodness of the world that literally they may not have all the things on paper that people would expect them to need to be happy or grateful. But because his inner world's so beautiful, they actually live a beautiful life. They get almost all that they want. And they're always just so positive, and therefore they create a reality that also attracts more goodness into them. And I'm sure we all know someone that's like that, right? So it just shows you like these inner thoughts create what you experience. So if we get to choose our reality, why don't we choose to plant a beautiful garden in the inside? And why don't we choose the reality that we want? So we'll be discussing that and how inner thoughts really matter and how it impacts our outer world on June 1st. And because it matters how you speak to yourself, before you walk into a work meeting, before you go on a date, before you apply for an opportunity. These inner dialogue and conversations literally influence the outcome of your life. And with the energy that you bring into every scenario, you also influence how people behave around you. So I mentioned earlier in the past episodes where one of the games we're going to play is improv, where we're going to have certain scenarios, real life scenarios that I personally gone through or clients, people close in my world have gone through. Because that's how we learn. It's through learning from real life experience, or ideally, you don't have to go through some of the not so positive experiences, but you can learn from other people's experiences. So we're going to play improv, we're going to play comedy, we're going to have comedy, we're going to pull people up on stage. But before we play out every scenario, I'm going to show a negative inner dialogue and that how that influences the chain of events, and also a positive inner dialogue would also affects a positive chain of events. So that is the next topic that we will definitely discuss on June 1st. Again, it's self-confidence, it's self-worth, and also how that affects healthy relationships. And for those of you coming and joining, I really encourage you, obviously, to get into character, have fun, play with the script, but like put your own spin to it. And it's completely okay if you break into character and you burst out laughing. Like, we're here to have fun. That's the whole point. So I'm excited to see you guys all on June 1st. And stay tuned tomorrow. I'm going to release the last topic, and then we're going to wrap up and get ready for the event. So we'll see you then.